Hey guys, Eerie is here and welcome along to another video. Now with the new manufacturer series around the corner, I need to get my SR back in check, especially as I'm taking part in a bit of a challenge with a couple of other YouTubers which I'll tell you about later on. So entering this one, my SR is at just 83, which means that if the first round was right now, I'd be in a lower lobby, meaning less points would be on offer. So I need to fix that pronto, and that is what we're going to try and do today. But before we get into this slightly shorter video today, if you're new around here, this channel is all about me trying to compete at the highest level I can in my passion, which is sim racing, all whilst juggling being a husband, a dad and having a full-time job. I share with you my sim racing journey, the good, the bad and the ugly. So if you can relate, please do hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. It really helps the channel out. So you join me in a detached quali session for this daily race. I had time for 8 odd laps of quali here and I'm on lap number 6. And the laps I did were of varying success. You're watching me here chase the ghost of the top 10, well, the 10th best time on the top 10 leaderboard, so you can see how far I am away there, and this was the quickest lap that I managed to do here. I came across the line with a 2 minute 31.275, so not too bad. I felt comfortable with that time, but I wanted to get as much SR as efficiently as possible, so I didn't choose to go again and I took that time into the race. So here we go then, here in the race session, and as you can see we're on the grid for a standing start, and what you can also see is that I'm in a lobby with much lower ranked drivers, and that's because of the SR. So if I didn't do this race here, that's what I'd be facing in the manufacturer series, which is exactly not what I want. So as the red lights come on here before we go green, I'm going to flick the traction control to 1 to make sure I don't get any wheel spin off the line, and we managed to get quite a good launch, as you can see here. I almost got caught out, to be fair, by the quick switch to green there, but we're off and I'm going to take it nice and easy down into turn number 1. Keeping an eye on that radar as always, as someone is trying it round the outside. I'm in turn trying to give them as much room as possible, as I don't want to run them off the road. So we have the inside though, and we hold on to the position, and crucially we start the S's here in 2nd place. So for the first few laps I'm just not going to attack. I need to work together with the guy up in front and pull a gap to the pack behind. Once we do that and we've got a sufficient gap, I can then assess the situation and see if our pace versus his allows us to attack, or whether we just settle for second in this one and gain the safety rating points. I have to keep reminding myself though that collecting SR is the objective here. If I get distracted by the prospect of a win, push too hard and either crash or cause contact and then get an SR down, it could be for nothing and completely counterproductive. And I'm well aware, just like I did in the race with everyone a couple of weeks back, that I am prone to crashing at the Degners, so I need to be very careful there. So whilst we're trying to build this gap, I'll introduce the race for you. This is Daily Race C at my favourite track, Suzuka in Japan. We're in the Mazda touring car, which drives like it's on ice because of the sports hard tyres that we have this week. We have 8 tours of this circuit today, which will be a flat out sprint as there's no need to change tyres or add any fuel. The only strategy for us, as I say, is to avoid any contact and to not bin it at the Degners or spoon, things I couldn't achieve last time I was here. And we've settled down into this one quite nicely, and it looks like we're settling for 2nd place, but I can see up ahead a few cracks are starting to show here as the German up in front is clearly pushing. So I'm just going to chill here, try and keep the pressure on as much as I can while staying in my own comfort zone, as the risk of him bidding it looks to be growing by the lap. And coming into turn 1 on lap number 4 here, you shouldn't take joy in these things, but I've got to be honest, I did. He is going to bin it, as we knew there was a risk of him doing, and because we have worked together and not attacked through the first part of the race, losing each other time by taking suboptimal lines, there was a larger gap now to the group behind and I was out on my own. So all I need to do is to withstand the pressure of leading a race. I've bottled it from the front before. I need to stay consistent by driving within my limits and not making any silly mistakes and just bring home the victory. But more important than that, I'm going to bring home, hopefully, the safety rating points I was after. And whilst we do that, let's introduce this little challenge that we've got going on that I mentioned earlier on in the video. So myself, Adventure Racing aka King Jev aka James Everett, and Basic Ollie aka Ollie have decided to spice up this season's manufacturer series. We're going to go in the same manufacturer. We've all selected Ford and we're using the Mustangs in both groups, and we're going to see who can get the most points. Nice and simple really. But what isn't so simple is the forfeit for the loser, and we're going to be doing, as a result of this forfeit, everything we can, I'm sure, to avoid finishing last, because the loser, and I'm not sure if we fully agreed this yet, but I'm going to put it out there so it's official, sorry boys, the loser will be doing a one chip challenge live on YouTube, where you eat the hottest crisp or chip dependent where you're from, and if you go and Google this you'll see how horrendous it looks. So we'll all be doing our best, as I say, to avoid that one. It should be fun though, and make for some good content and something different for you all to enjoy, and we can watch all of, well, everything that unfolds from each one of our channels and each one of our perspectives, and have a look at the ups and downs throughout this series. And I think it's just something a little bit different and something that we wanted to do and bring you guys. So let me know in the comment section down below who you think will come out on top in this little challenge we're all a part of. And we're going to rejoin the action here on the final lap. It looks like we're going to be able to do it. I have kept the gap to the cars behind, managed to not bin it at the Degners or Spoon, and are in prime position to achieve what we wanted to in this one. Now, I acknowledge this video isn't the longest one I've ever done, nor probably the most exciting, I'm sure, but it's all part of the story, so I wanted to share it with you. If I just rocked up to the new manufacturer series with low DR and in a lower lobby as a result, you'll be wondering why. So I wanted to cover this and the background to how I got back up to, you know, a decent form of SR on the channel. Now, as you'll see, I didn't set the fastest lap, which is proof you don't need to be the fastest to win races. It was just consistency, driving within my limits, and that is what got me the win in this one. As I come across the line here to take that win, a perfect result considering our aims in this one, and it sets us up beautifully for the opening round of the new FIA season. And mission accomplished really, as only my 30th win, can you believe it, 30th win in GT Sport is confirmed. I couldn't have really done too much more, and it couldn't have really gone much better for us, to be honest. And whilst we're not quite at 99 SR now, 98 is close enough and shouldn't affect the lobbies we get placed in for the first manufacturer series round, which is going to be important if we're going to win this challenge. Good luck to everyone in your manufacturer season, by the way. I'll be covering how I got on in week number 1 in the very next video. But until then guys, that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks again so much for watching though guys, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.